Ladies and gentlemen, this is an update on the Breonna Taylor case. Apparently, they were trying to appoint a special prosecutor to come in and take over the case. Well, that has now been knocked down. There will be no special counsel coming in and taking over this case. So, no independent prosecutor in the Breonna Taylor case. So, this came out on CBS News December 20th, 2020. No matter how hard they keep resisting this thing, Breonna Taylor really does deserve her day in court. She really does. The Kentucky Prosecutor Advisory Council unanimously decided on Friday not to appoint a special prosecutor to investigate the death of Breonna Taylor. The council argued that it does not have the legal authority to appoint the prosecutor, although attorneys for Taylor's family say otherwise. Tamika Palmer, Taylor's mother, called for an independent special prosecutor and a new grand jury to be appointed to the case in October. Council members Christopher Caron, and he said Friday that the meeting, after reviewing the petition from her mother, he believes the council doesn't have the legal authority to grant her request. The council unanimously agreed, but when it was asked for, any opposition, members of the public watching the meeting virtually chimed in. WLKY reporter Denny Camper caught the moments after the decision was made in which several people criticized the council. "You're wrong and you know it," one person could be heard saying. "You have the authority. You're scared," another said. Following the vote, several people who were watching the meeting turned on their mics. Here's what they had to say about the decision. So let me go ahead and play this for you.
The council has accepted the statement unanimously, and so therefore it shall pass. Oppose.
You're wrong and you know it.
Oppose.
All right.
I oppose.
So that
I have a
You have the authority. You're scared.
Y'all found every way to dance
you
around
have a legal obligation to pursue justice.
I'm gonna make a
Let's just move on to the end of our meeting.
Okay, y'all. The reason why it sounds like that, they did this virtually. And when people that were on this particular virtual meeting heard what their vote was against special counsel for Breonna Taylor, they all turned their mics on and started yelling over the mic. And as you could hear, there was a lot of opposition to what this legal counsel was doing. They did not agree. So, this is always going to be one of those really touchy topics when it comes down to Breonna Taylor in this case. So, right, let me just pick up from where I left off. Palmer, which is her mother, October request for a new prosecutor came just days after two members of the original grand jury that reviewed Taylor's case anonymously told CBS Morning co-host Gayle King that they were not present with the option to indict any police officers involved on charges directly linked to her death. None of the officers presented on that night Taylor was killed was charged directly for her death. One officer, Brett Hankinson, was charged with wanton endangerment for shooting at an apartment adjacent to Taylor's. Kentucky Attorney General Daniel Cameron told the local Kentucky TV station in September that if the grand jury wanted to make an assessment about different charges, they could have done that. And they said they didn't even know they could do that. Remember, these are citizens, not lawyers. And if they were able to do that, it was Daniel Cameron's job to tell them that. He was the attorney in the room. It was a betrayal, juror number 2 told CBS this morning. They didn't give us the charges up front. When they gave us all of the testimony over 20-something hours, and then to say that these are the only charges that they're coming up with, it's like, well, what did we just sit through? Lanita Baker, one of the attorneys representing Palmer, said the case law supports Palmer's request for a new prosecutor, according to CBS affiliate WLKY. There is plenty of authority that this council can appoint a special prosecutor by majority vote, Baker said. Okay, so another attorney told CBS the situation shows that the cards stack so heavily in favor of law enforcement and against Black women. Daniel Cameron completely undermined the integrity of our justice system, exposing its bias and the unethical conduct which happens behind the scenes of a grand jury proceedings. Rather than fix this, 6 prosecutors today chose to condone it. Their failure to step up here was cowardly. The whole world now sees clearly how the blindness of the Lady of Justice does not exist in Kentucky for Black women. It don't exist anywhere in America for Black women. The council's decision came on the same day that Taylor's hometown of Grand Rapids, Michigan, held a ribbon-cutting ceremony to rename Monroe Center Street Northwest Breonna Taylor Way. I want to make one thing clear. The Justice for Black Lives President Alyssa Bates at the ceremony. The street sign is not equal justice at all. Just because the street sign is being hanged, it does not mean we are going to settle. We are going to keep applying pressure to make sure justice is served. So, ladies and gentlemen, lawyers in Kentucky shot down any efforts to bring in a special prosecutor to take over the Breonna Taylor case. And it really should happen, because what Daniel Cameron did, and he's still doing to this very day, is denying any kind of case or justice for Breonna Taylor. And it is very obvious that he is protecting police officers instead of doing the right thing for this young woman that was gunned down and killed. It should not have been killed that night in her apartment. But please tell me what you think, ladies and gentlemen. It's just another dirty move, because they know they can do these things and get away with it. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.